Hello everyone, welcome to this tutorial of mathematics. In this tutorial I'm going to be showing you how to find the 5-number summary of a data set. And so the reason why we want to find the 5-number summary is that we need those 5 numbers to be able to make a box plot, which is just another visual way to represent a set of numbers or a data set. So what are those 5 numbers you're going to be asking? So let's look there. So look right here at 5-number summary. These are the 5 numbers that we need to find. We need to find the minimum value or the lowest value in our data set. We need to find the lower quartile, which is also known as the first quartile, and you'll see how to get that in just a moment. Then we need to find the median, which is the middle number or the middle quartile. We also refer to it as Q2 or the second quartile. And then we need to find the upper quartile, which is also known as the third quartile. And then finally, we need to find the greatest value or our maximum value. So you don't find them in this particular order. The order of steps that you need to follow are right here on the steps section on the bottom left corner. So we're going to follow these steps to find our 5-number summary and just be very meticulous and careful of your work, and you will be able to find them with me. So let's start with this data set. So in this tutorial, I'm just going to show you how to do an even data set. Even data sets mean there's an even amount of numbers, and then odd data sets mean there's an odd amount of numbers. And you will see that there's going to be a distinction between how to find both of those. So let's find it, okay? So let's start first by following the steps. Our first step is to order from least to greatest, ascending order. So I'm going to start from 10, and I'm just going to keep going up a number, 11, and I'm going to cross them out to keep consistent and organized, 15, 16, I see 20, I see 22 and 24, I'm going to cross them out, I'm going to see 31, I see 56, and I see 90. So all I'm doing is just crossing them out and ordering from least to greatest from left to right. So again, if I wanted to double check to see if I did this correctly, I'm going to count all my numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So all of my numbers are there and they're correctly listed. So now let's follow the next set of steps. So step 1, we're done. We finished that one. Now we're going to do the second step, which is find the median. So median middle, we're finding the middle number. So there's 2 different ways that you can do this. I'm going to do it in green because that's what I'm representing our Q2 with, or our median with. So the way you can do it on paper, you can cross out the numbers on the far left and then the far right and work your way in until you have 1 number in the middle or 2. Or you can use your fingers and mark them on the paper, so I can put my first finger on 10 and my other finger on 90, and then I can work my way in until I find only 1 number in the middle or 2. So for instance, if I start there, I can put my fingers on 11 and 56, and then 15 and 31, and then 16 and 24, and then eventually you'll see that I have these 2 numbers in the middle. So I can cross them out as well. 10, 90, 11, 56, 15, 31, 16, and 24. Again, these are my 2 numbers. I could have done it with my fingers or doing it by crossing them out. And then if I put a line in the middle, now I know where the middle of my data is. So the median is between these 2 numbers. And marking it with a giant line will be useful in a little while. If you just notice, it's going to help us find our lower and upper quartiles. So now let's find our median. So when we have 2 numbers when we're finding our median, we're going to add them together. So 20 plus 22, and then we're always going to divide by 2. And the reason that is because there's 2 numbers. We're adding 2 numbers, so we divide by 2. So if I add these together, I get 42 over 2, and then if you use a calculator or double check, you get 21. That will be my median. So Q2 will be 21. Now, this is where we're going to have to start being careful. So we're now going to have to find our lower quartile first, and then our upper quartile. So now, the lower and upper quartiles, they're just finding the median again, but it's for the lower half of the data and the upper half of the data. And so if you notice how we did use that line to help show us visually where our data is separated into 2 halves, that's going to help us know which numbers we're going to deal with for both calculations. So for instance, because quartile Q1 is the lower half and it's in pink, I'm going to change my color to pink really quick. This will be the numbers that I'm going to deal with finding my lower quartile. And then if I'm doing my upper quartile, which I'm going to do in orange, which is Q3, I'm only going to deal with these numbers. So I can rewrite them and just pretend like it's a new data set and find the middle number again. So let's do that. Let's start with Q1, which is my lower quartile. I'm going to just rewrite it. Let me do it in blue. I'm going to rewrite these numbers right here, 10 through 20. So I'm going to write 10, 11, 15, 16, and 20. And again, I just need to find the middle number. So Q1's my middle number here. So I'm going to cross them out or use my fingers, and I find 15 is my middle number. So 15 is my lower quartile. Now let's find our upper quartile. It's the same process. So now I'm going to do that one in blue to rewrite it again. And so let's do 22, 24, 31, 56, 90. And now I'm going to use orange, and I'm going to do the same process. I'm going to cross them out until I find that middle number. 31 will be my middle number. So my upper quartile, Q3, is 31. So again, you're just finding the median again for the lower quartile, and you're finding the median again for the upper quartile. So it's like basically repeating the median, finding the median 3 times, but you have to change the numbers you're focusing on when you're doing that. So I recommend always rewrite them out like I showed you to find those. Now finally, all you need to do is find the lowest and the highest value in your data set once you have listed it from least to greatest. That will be my minimum and maximum respectively. So if I look right here at number 10, that is the lowest value in my data set. That's the lowest number. So that is actually my minimum or my least value. So if I do that in light blue, that is my minimum. This will be 10. And then my maximum will be the highest value, which will be 90. So I'm going to do that in purple. So 90 is my highest value, so that's my maximum. So I now have my 5-number summary. I have my 5 numbers. Again, to find the quartile 1 and quartile 3, quartile 1 and quartile 3, or my lower and upper quartiles, I must first find my median, then only use the numbers that are on the lower half of my data to find Q1, or my lower quartile, and then find my upper half of my data with my upper half values, or find my upper quartile. So you may be wondering, why are they called quartiles? Why do I have to know what these are? So if you think of it like money with quarters, they're represented with quarters. So quarters represent part of a dollar based on a fractional amount. So for instance, the first quarter, which is 25 cents of a dollar, represents 1/4 of a dollar. And then if we go to about 50 cents, that's half a dollar, right? So that's 1/2. And then if I only have 75 cents, that is 3/4 a quarter. So if I show that with a quarter, you're just basically finding those quarters of the data. So if you notice 15 was my Q1, that is my first quarter, or that's my 25-cent mark. And then if I copy this and I repaste it somewhere else, let me repaste it. Oops. I gotta copy it, copy my quarter. Now, if I talk about my middle quarter, or my 50 cents mark, which is 1/2, that is my second quarter. So that's my Q2, and this is my Q1. Now, what about Q3? So this is my third quartile, or my upper quartile. I will have another quarter. And so we said that was 31, so that would be about right here. So that's my 75-cent mark, or my 3/4 mark. And then finally, if I wanted a whole dollar, I would be at the last number in my data set. And so that would be my 4th quarter, or that would be $1, because 4 quarters makes $1. So that's just another way you can remember what quartiles are. Again, 25 cents, 50 cents, 75 cents, $1, or you can think of it as fractions: 1/2, 1/4, 1/2, 3/4, and a whole, or 1. So hopefully this helped you out with understanding quartiles, and I'm going to show you another tutorial on how to do an odd data set. Best of luck. You will get this.